Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank all of our witnesses here today. You've made some wonderful comments and shared very useful information with us, and I want you to know I appreciate your being here. Mr. Brantley, I'd like to know a little bit more about the kinds of employees at institutions of higher education who would be affected by implementation of the overtime rule. Actually, I think I know something about it, having worked in an institution of several institutions of higher education, but some others may not. You mentioned resident directors in your written testimony as particularly unsuited to classification as hourly workers. Would you elaborate a little bit on that, and how would the services they provide to the students be negatively affected?
Thank you, Chairwoman Foxx. So most of us in this room have spent some time on a college campus. And as all of us know, the students don't exactly work in an 8-to-5 schedule. So as we think about the services that are provided to these students 24/7, 365, no position is more impacted than a position like a resident director who typically has a master's degree, may supervise a number of graduate assistants, a number of resident assistants, maintenance staff, office staff, et cetera. This person typically has an apartment or some other residence that's with the students. The idea being that this person has that integral connection to the students outside of the classroom. If we implement the new regulations with a salary threshold of $47,476, the majority of our resident directors are paid a salary below that. One of the challenges with the current regulation is it doesn't include room and board. So all of that cannot be included as part of the compensation for our resident directors. Also, as we encourage these individuals to have to track hours, is a casual conversation in the hallway with a student working hours, is having a meal with students in the residence hall or in the dining room, is that working hours? The complexity is there. Asking these individuals to track their hours is all but impossible.
Thank you very much. Ms. Reiner, you've testified that, as you've testified, entrepreneurs like yourself are being impacted by costly regulatory requirements. Time and resources have gone into ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements instead of growing businesses and creating jobs. Would you reflect on that a little bit more for us and for the folks listening?
Yes, Chairwoman Foxx. My own personal journey has been very discouraging, quite honestly. I have been trying to protect my business from the Department of Labor's regulations that they have applied to me. We believe it's been, they used the wrong standards in the Fair Labor Standards Act, and they actually used the independent contractor test, which actually they should have used the precedent set forth in the Supreme Court, which says that you look at the economic reality of the situation, and we use our common sense to look at the whole work activity. So it has been very discouraging for me personally. It has hurt our ability to create business opportunities for our franchise owners. It's been a big distraction. It's cost us a lot of time and money. I'm a small business owner. I have 3 full-time employees in my office, also some part-time. And so it's been quite a burden to bear to continue to operate our business and continue to grow.
We understand that your attorneys estimated the penalties for repeated or willful violations could reach $3.6 million for your small business. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. And it was a terrifying number to receive, quite actually. It would put us out of business. And so it has been worth fighting for, though, not only for my business, but for moms who I represent. I represent thousands of families, not only in Arkansas, but across the country, who love our consignment events. It saves families a lot of money, and also just small business owners. Honestly, I hear a lot of stories of small business owners that are experiencing this overregulation to the point of being put out of business because a lot of them can't fight back.
Well, bless you for exercising your civic responsibility in doing what you have done, and let's hope we can see some changes so that small business people like you will not be harassed by bureaucrats with too much time on their hands. Thank you very much. I yield back.
Thank you, Chairwoman Foxx. She yields back. Mr. Takano, you recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr.